After over a whole year of being revealed, Bendy 3 finally got its title announced, along with a whole Steam page that gave us our first look at Bendy 3, along with some more information that just goes and gets us so hyped for the next game, which is actually going to be the last Bendy game. So without further ado, let's just go hop to the video and start off with, of course, the title reveal trailer. So literally not even 30 minutes ago, the Bendy Title 3 reveal trailer just went and dropped. I didn't get to go and watch it live, but in this trailer, it was pretty crazy. Of course, it shows the whole entire Bendy logo as it goes and tells us different words with this white screen saying first, there was the ink machine, of course, being about Bendy and the ink machine. And then it said, then there was the Dark Revival, of course, being the sequel game that was amazing and I absolutely loved it. Of course, being Bendy and the Dark Revival, which was just a perfect game overall. I really loved it. But then it says, and finally, ... as it goes and dramatically reveals the third game being titled Bendy and the Ink Factory. And I gotta say, I am so hyped for this, like absolutely hyped. I haven't done a Bendy news video in a while, and I haven't really played the Bendy games on the channel for a while, like Boris and the Dark Survival, the new remake being Lone Wolf. I didn't really get to do a video on that because lots of things were happening at the exact same time when it was coming out. And also, it was something I didn't think that you guys are that much interested in. But a new mainline Bendy game, and not just that, the last mainline Bendy game, meaning we're potentially going to be still getting more Bendy games in the future. But this seems to be, of course, the very last mainline game, which is definitely very, very sad, but it is still something very exciting we can look forward to. After the whole entire title dropped for Bendy and the Ink Factory, which is, first of all, a great title because, the first game was Bendy and the Ink Machine, and now it's the Factory. We're definitely going into the Gent Factory. We'll be talking about that later on by looking, of course, at the Steam page images. But also, we all know Poppy Playtime, and my channel is mainly based off that, and that's based in the Toy Factory, and I absolutely love that game so much. So seeing a Bendy game based off an Ink Factory instead of an Ink Studio is just going to be so much bigger and just so much more potential. Give me kind of Secrets of the Mimic type vibes. That's why I'm just so hyped, because I thought about Poppy and Secrets of the Mimic mixed with Bendy. I'm like, that's just a combination for one of the best games I think that's probably going to come out anytime soon. But after that, of course, it goes and fades, and it says everything must end, as it goes and abruptly ends the 39-second trailer. So this whole entire title is actually teased a while ago, and of course Secrets of the Machine, almost said Mimic, on the Steam game. They had a whole entire area where you're able to play Lone Wolf actually in first person. Was pretty cool. But it said if, and it was actually, of course, being initials for Ink Factory, with of course the I with little devil horn in it, being a pretty neat little Easter egg and of course reference to what the title is actually going to be. So I really do love that. But now when you go on Steam, you can actually, of course, see the Steam page. They have 3 actual in-game images since this was revealed a year ago, so we can actually see some stuff on it. It says here, Bendy and the Ink Factory is a first-person survival horror. Return to the world of Joey Drew Studios like never before. The dark truth is hanging in the shadows, waiting to devour you. The rubber hose nightmare continues, but eventually everything must end. Showing, of course, a brand new banner for Bendy and the Ink Factory, which I just love the way it has a little bit of Dark Revival and a little bit of Ink Machine in there as the third game. Sadly, we have no announcement, no planned dates, which is pretty sad, but it is still all right, And we can see, of course, the images, but I think we should definitely go and read about this game before we actually go and look at the images, saying that the final conclusion to the Bendy trilogy arrived, completing the dark adventures that began in Bendy and the Ink Machine and deepened in Bendy and the Dark Revival. As the final installment in this iconic horror series, Bendy and the Ink Factory returns to present the ultimate climax to years of ink-stained mysteries, heart-pounding chases, and unforgettable characters that have captivated millions of fans worldwide. Descend into the infamous Joey Drew Studios once more, where cartoon nightmares come to life, rising from their dark puddles, survive the horrific challenges of 2 worlds. That's definitely an interesting topic we're going to talk about. Bound by ink and a terrible machine, with a legacy of atmosphere, storytelling, eerily beautiful hand-drawn visuals, and sudden encounters, Bendy and the Ink Factory returns to the series' rubber hose roots with an even darker and more inkier horror adventure. Everything must end. Wish list now. And it says Bendy returns. And yes, Bendy is back, and it's about to end, which is gonna be so sad because I love this game, and of course I mainly kind of grew up on this game, and it was kind of the first game I really got into. I was into, of course, FNAF and all this other stuff, but Bendy was the first one I really connected to and was really there for the beginning. So seeing this actually end is Definitely gonna be something really sad. So yeah, don't forget to definitely go and subscribe to this channel because I will be keeping you guys up to date within all the new Bendy and the Ink Factory news upcoming from any new images, news, dev updates. I definitely will be keeping you guys up to date until this game goes in release because I am so hyped for this. So definitely go and subscribe and like the video if you're also hyped for this. And let me know in the comments below what do you guys do think, of course, about Bendy and the Ink Factory. But from the Steam page images, the first one here, we can see this image. And if you show this to a Bendy fan, they would not think this is Bendy at all. It looks something straight out of BioShock. It looks still really good. We do know Bendy is, of course, inspired by BioShock, but the image shows an eerie factory that's of course in the real world. As it says in the description, this game will be taking place in 2 different worlds, of course the ink world and then of the real world, which is going to be really interesting. I don't know if we're going to be switching between characters or we're going to be playing as a new character, or we're going to be switching between worlds, kind of like a whole, you're able to go between the ink and real world to hide from monsters, kind of like a whole flipped world type thing, which if that is the case, that'll be such a cool gameplay gimmick, almost messed that up. But just like Bendy the Dark Revival ended with this teaser, you can see the jet factory here, as this is of course where we're going to be going since we know the machine has been taken here. You can see ink all over the place too, as everything's just eerily lit, and it still looks really well designing. Even though this is probably his prototype images, we still have no entire idea, but still this factory setting just looks amazing. With the next image here says, "What am I?" question mark with ink, with of course a sink filled with ink, and you can see a lot more of the textures and a lot more of that great quality of what this game is actually going to be looking like. Just like, I still just love the way this looks. I can't get over it. I love the art style. I love the way it looks. It looks visually stunning, and just, we haven't even see the ink world yet. This is literally just the real world. They probably haven't started working on the ink world yet, or they're just trying to keep it a secret, of course, for now. But the last image is what gets me more excited. We, of course, can see what it looks like, fire on the floor with different wires, more studio stuff with just showing how everything looks really cool. But then we can see the shadow of Bendy. This can either be cartoon Bendy or, of course, ink Bendy. Since we do know he's going to be evolving and changing, most likely the ink demon will be having a different look, or I guess a whole different appeal. And what gets me even more excited is that immediately did let us know a while ago, like a whole week ago, that one of my personal goals with the Ink Demon in Bendy 3 is to make him a horrifying roaming presence as a constant threat in a new way, not yet seen before in Bendy game. The Lord of the Dark Puddles will have his reign, showing that of course Bendy's gonna be a roaming AI that's gonna be just something that's kind of like the main feature of the game. Of course, probably not, but it's still going to be a unique way that we never seen the Ink Demon before. And that's why I'm also really excited. And we don't know if he's going to have a new form. We don't know if this could be cartoon Bendy or if this is Ink Bendy. All we do know is that he's going to have a roaming presence that feels like he's always around. We have no idea if that's going to be just within the, of course, the Ink world, or if it's going to be in the factory. But either way, this one image looks so good, and I absolutely cannot wait for that. But that's definitely just really it for it all. We have no planned release date, and I would definitely like to hope that the game will be coming out most likely in like 2026 to maybe 2027 at the latest. I do hope that maybe October 2026 might be a perfect time to actually go and release this. This is around Halloween time, and it gives it enough time with a little over another year to work on it, meaning it'll be technically in development since it started pre-development last year for almost 3 years, which I do think is a great time for a game like this. And it seems like from the photos that the game's already looking amazing, meaning we could be getting a lot more sooner. But yes, like I already said, don't forget to go and subscribe to definitely stay tuned for more Bendy news. I definitely will be keeping you guys up to date with Bendy and the Ink Factory whenever we get more images, and of course whenever we get a little bit more insider news. But I definitely cannot wait for this game to drop. Don't forget to watch this video here to see other type of Bendy news and of course other type of Bendy reviews.